Guys, how you doing? I'm Rav07 from Appsite.net, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the USB Fever anti-glare screen protector for the iPod Touch 2nd generation. I know that you guys can already see the huge amount of bubbles on there, and that's partly the fault of the screen protector and partly the fault of me, because the first time I installed it there was a few bubbles, so I thought, well, USB Fever say it's washable, and it is to a certain extent, because I washed it, reapplied it, and more bubbles appeared, and as you can see a lot of them are really small, so they're difficult to get out. I mean, you can push some away, but it's virtually impossible to get rid of all of them, and this is probably the best I can get it. So I washed it, reapplied it, more bubbles like I said, so I got a microfiber, I've used squeegees, I've even used my own thumb, as you guys saw just a minute ago, and it helps a little bit, but there's too many bubbles, and on the corner here there's loads of creases on it as well, so that makes these longer bubbles appear, and it just looks awful basically. But if you look beyond the bubbles, you can see that it is actually anti-glare. I mean, anti-glares just make things easier to see in highly lit areas, such as if you're outside or in a room with loads of lights, and as you can see, look, it doesn't really affect the screen, but it just looks pretty messy and I don't like it. And the more times you reapply this and wash it, the more bubbles appear, and this is probably the 5th time I've washed it and reinstalled it, so it is washable. I mean, it will reapply, but there'll just be more bubbles and it won't look as good. I mean, it is anti-fingerprint like they said, and I'm just trying to get loads of bubbles out here, but I just can't do it. And if I reapplied it again, there'd be a lot more bubbles. So I'm just going to also take this off, screen protector off, and show you how thin it is. And look, there you guys can see, it's paper thin. And some of you guys like that, some of you don't. But look, I mean, that's why it creases so much. I mean, you can see it there. Look how many creases and bubbles, and it just doesn't look nice, and it's too thin, and that's why you get loads of bubbles. So yeah, it's partly my fault for not installing it right in the first place, but then they kind of advertise it as washable, and it is, like I said, but more bubbles appear and it just creases up and it doesn't look nice, and that's why I'm only giving it a 5 out of 10. I mean, if you look beyond the bubbles, it is a pretty good screen protector. I mean, it is anti-fingerprint, it is going to protect the screen, but there's just loads of bubbles on there and it's just not for me. I mean, you guys can get it, I do recommend it as a screen protector, but you must get it right the first time. Even if there's a couple of bubbles on there, you need to get it right the first time. A lot of you are good at installing screen shields, but if you're not as good and you're someone like me, then this is not for you. And if you're wondering what case I'm looking today, it's actually the iFusion's cover. So I was Rav with a review of the USB Fever anti-glare screen protector. Remember to check out usbfever.com, appsite.net, and iFusionsdesigns.tk. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoy the review, and I'll see you next time.